Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simon Chardiets New York Stories. I'm sorry I ain't been on for a while. It's the summer. I'll give you an example. Day before yesterday, I got up like about quarter to six, went surfing, then I jogged a mile. I worked as a surf instructor down at the surf camp, and in my job, I'm swimming. I'm out at sea swimming, pushing people into waves. I got my fins on. So I had to body surf a couple of waves in. That was fun. And borrowed one of the students' boards, just like slid one wave, ran back home, took a little cat nap, went out to Ridgewood, played a gig, got up yesterday. Me and my girlfriend, we did a mile swim. And then later on that day, I went surfing. And then I got up this morning about 6 o'clock, went surfing in them waves off the hurricane. It was pretty good. So I'm in the water a lot. I'm just like a fucking shrimp or something. I like to be in the water. So my New York story today is a very recent New York story. And I can't help but find this whole thing funny. I can't help but like kind of taking the piss and mocking. I got deleted. My comments got deleted from one of the protagonists' websites or whatever. But so I'm gonna take it to my own shit where nobody can delete my ass. But you can make comments in the chat and whatever you would like to do. But I'm not gonna name any names. Okay. I'm not gonna name no bands, no clubs, no people's names. You can fill it in for yourself. I was asked to fill in on guitar with a band that's like a ska / hardcore band. They're like a popular, well-known band in the New York hardcore scene. So I was very delighted to do it. I got paid an honorarium, like my minimum. All I asked for was my very minimum gig money, like the least money I'll ever leave the house for. And I learned all the songs, went to rehearsal, etc. Great band, great people, great music. Enjoyed it. And we played this place that's on the site of somewhere I used to hang out at and play when I was young, man. As a matter of fact, I took my kid's mom, the lady that became the mother of my children, the first time we hung out and just were knocking around town, we went to this place. And I played there with Pop Tones Incorporated, and I've been to some shows at this place. I remember going to see bands like the High Sheriffs of Blue or Ultraviolence, or bands like that. Blood Clot. I remember seeing these bands there. Anyway, so I played the place, and I was so happy to be there and played a show. I had a fantastic time. People were moshing and skanking and everything. I was like, oh shit, There was Krusties, the I call them soap dodgers. They're like the squatter or like freight train hopping punks that don't like to take a bath or something, like soap dodgers. They were drinking outside. They call them Krusties too. So they were all drinking outside and sitting right by the garbage cans. And then after the show, this cat approached me, wanted to take my portrait, right? So he took my portrait, and right then all hell broke loose. There was this big fight, okay? Now, I don't know any of the people involved, so I'm not going to say anything about them, except I heard, and this could not be true, that one of them spat in the other guy's face. But this kid, he was so good. This guy was a good fighter, and he basically just housed. I mean, these guys just got like forget about it. The two guys that apparently it is reputed that they spat in his face, they both got mapped good. Okay, this guy sorted him proper. So I was like, this is a proper punk rock show. There's like Krusty's drinking outside, a great mosh pit. There was a good fight. I mean, this was a better fight than I paid $30 to go to the fights last month, and this at St. Camillus, and this was a better fight, you know. And so shows were cut at this venue after that. Okay. Now I understand. Okay, you're trying to run a bar, you're trying to make money, try to stay in business, and now you've got all this chaos from the punk rock, from the soap dodgers. You got to fight, but it's like I remember all this shit from the way back years, you know, the 80s, the 90s. There was always like soap dodgers outside a show. They never go into the show. They stay outside the show, and they get really, really wasted. And then there was always fights at shows, you know, and I don't want there should be fights at shows. I want people, yeah, you know, the mosh pit, it should be good-natured roughhousing. It shouldn't be like violent and, you know, people get, you know, just malicious, you know. It should just be that good-natured horsing around, you know. And I don't want there should be fights, you know, or any of that shit, you know. And so, but I understand there's been fights at shows for like decades, and so they cut the shows. I was kind of sad because this place, you know, this place is like shit, man. I probably started hanging out there like 40 years ago, you know what I mean? So no more shows, but I couldn't help but be somewhat amused, okay, by this. These people, they're in the New York hardcore scene. They put themselves forth to be these like OG, like New York hardcore punk rock guys. They're always talking about what bands they played with, and they got this, you know, the street credibility. And now they're all like bent out of shape because there was a fight at a show. It's like, what, you know, there's like commercial punk rock, like, you know, big business punk rock, make a lot of money, you know, sell fashion and all this shit. Then there's like social punk rock, where it's like everybody's all trying to be in the scene and kiss each other's ass and be like, hey, I'm the big guy on the scene, and I'm gonna tell you what punk rock is. You know, it's like fucking high school, like fucking Archie and Jughead and shit, you know, the cool kids, whatever. And then there's, you know, what I think punk rock to be, all right? And this is just for me. Here's what punk rock is for me. Destroy, okay? I don't care about no bourgeois fucking bars, no morals, no like, oh, we've got to make everything nice for the yuppie neighbors, the community board. You see, for me, punk rock is all these chaotic fucking things, you know? It's just fucking like raise hell. Raise fucking hell. Have a good time, but I can't really, you know, I've seen so many of these joints. I won't call them venues. Venues is a yuppie fucking word for hipsters. These joints, and they cut the punk rock shows because there's a fight or this and that. So, you know, I kind of really believe, like, you know, to me, like, I'm not really hardcore. I mean, I go to hardcore shows. I'm punk. I'm like old school punk rock before it was hardcore. So I have a little bit of different ethos in that. I'm a nihilist, man. I just like to fucking, like, you know, cause trouble. So what I took out of it is, like, they had this guy had a Facebook page, and everybody was saying, oh, it's a pity they're not having shows here anymore. And it's like, you know, like, no, I don't got no problem with none of these people. I just like them, but I had to take the piss, okay? Like, what would have Johnny Rotten have done? So I was like, oh, there was a fight at a punk rock show. How could that ever happen? How could there be a fight? That's never happened before. Oh, there was soap dodgers swilling whatever, you know, swilling whatever kind of shit they was swilling outside the show. Underage soap dodgers. Never heard of such a thing. How could they do that? It's so terrible. Oh, alack-a-day. All these people are saying, yo, I'm all hardcore, until real punk rock happens, you know? until real fucking punk rock happens. And I mean, the kid, if it's true that they spat in this kid's face, good for him. I respect this kid. Don't ever spit in nobody's face. Then you got nothing. Where are you going to go from that? You just fucking marked your card. You spat in their face. Now they gotta fucking pound you. Don't ever do no shit like that. You know? And I want to tell you something else. I was happy to see people settling their differences like real people, okay? And not like, you know. So I couldn't help. I made this kind of sarcastic comment on social media. And I haven't even been on social media except to put up a show advertisement, and I'm off it. I'm like, you know, I'm only on here tonight because it's raining, right? But they immediately delete my comments, you know. I was like, oh yeah, you want to be all like, yeah, we're all New York hardcore until real punk rock happens, and then you're all crying, you know. And I ain't with that, so they delete my comments. So I got like I got canceled. It's like punk rock cancel culture, and with apologies to my conservative friends or right-wing friends, I'm not even a conservative. I'm not a Republican. I'm like, you know, whatever the fuck I am, right? An anarchist or a libtard or something, whatever you want to fucking call me, it's fine. You know, politics is like toilet paper to me, you know, fuck politics. So anyway, so I got deleted, you know, and I'm like, so then the next day, this guy is on the internet again. I just was, you know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way that he deleted my comment. He should have just laughed. You know, it's like, don't you get it? Like, what kind of punk rocker are you, like, that you can't take a fucking joke? You know what I mean? So then, I mean, all right, I understand the bar's got to make money, but, like, that's not my fucking job. My job is to destroy the bourgeois, to destroy capitalism, to destroy everything. That's what punk rock means to me. Tear it all down. I'm not saying in a violent way, but tear it all down. Dismantle it. Fuck it. Why? Just because it's there to dismantle. No better fucking reason. So that's what I believe. So anyway, so the next day, this guy is on his show, his punk rock show, interviewing a guy from another band, and they're talking about all the fights they got into back in the 80s. Like, yeah, you know, we were in Staten Island, and these disco guys jumped us, and we were fighting this and fighting that, and like, so it's like, it's okay for a couple of, it's okay to like be old and talk, glamorize violence in the past on the internet, but like, when I take the piss on you, you just delete me. It's like fucking punk rock cancel culture. Like, I'm sorry, but you know, that's just like, I also got kicked off something else because I had this old flag in my house, like this old flag in my house from this like anti-Nazi movement, right? They was like there to kick the Nazis out of like fucking punk rock shows and shit. And I had it in the back, and somebody threw me off a thing because they said I was like displaying a political banner. Hello, your grandfather probably, your great grandfather probably fought World War II against the Nazis. You know what I'm saying? Whether you on a Russian side or the American side, you know what I'm saying, or British side, you guys were fighting fucking Nazis. You know, like that was in the 1940s. Somebody's got to fight them. Why? Because they're fucking dicks. All right. So that's it. That's my rant for today. That's my New York story for today. Fucking, I don't know. It don't affect me no how, man. My name is Simon Chardiet, and I play music. And if you don't like what I say, leave me a snide, sarcastic comment or something, please. Or delete me. Delete my ass, man. You know? All right. Mwah!